I think what's fun about goals at Mount Olive is they're oftentimes exceeded.
And we have things that are freshening up.
We're seeing a definite bump in the time that we're spending in investing in our youth program.
We're looking at adding some improvements in some of the education space as well.
The way I've looked at it probably in the last few months is I felt that we did an internal renovation. And it was probably less obvious than a homeowning renovation. You know, we've had a significant amount of staff turnover, and we've been thankful for those that have been a part of the staff. You know, with the senior pastor turning over and the associate pastor position turning over and other things, and the music director position, among others, we've just noticed that renovation has occurred, and I can't state how blessed we are with the talent that we've had, but the talent that we get to enjoy on a weekly basis. It's an interesting experience to be part of Mount Olive because it feels very small, but it has a very big personality. The number of kids that are coming up for children's sermon, people participating in the numerous activities, even the number of people that are showing up earlier and earlier to church and staying later and later because of some of Brock's pieces that he plays. I think we're at a really important influx point because you can start to see a number of activities that people are starting to participate in, and they're starting to see that, and I think that creates momentum. But more importantly, I think the connection is getting deeper and more meaningful. That will change us for the better. It's been a big year, and I think we will probably be saying that year after year. The staff and the programming and the people a part of this congregation are continuing to evolve that into, I think, previously kind of unrealized potential.
I was approached by Pastor Laura in early March. I took her by surprise. She says, "Greg, would you care to chair the hiring committee for Sarah?" I said, sure. We started middle of March. We met about once a week, 1 to 3 hours at a time. Hiring done by mid-June, I believe.
We recognized right away some challenges that we would face, but also that at the end of the day that it would be a very rewarding experience, and it was something that we were looking, that we knew would enrich the Mount Olive congregation and community.
We did not interview an ELCA Lutheran affiliated candidate at first, and it opened all of our eyes. We really appreciated the theological differences, some more than others. It was a good experience for us to realize that we may be starting from scratch on this one.
And ultimately, as you all may know, we found Sarah Hollander, who was a great choice for Mount Olive, and she's fit in very well here since she came on board this past summer.
This position was being offered financially and fiscally as an entry-level position. We were following ELCA guidelines as best as possible for essentially a new hire, someone fresh out of school starting their career. And as soon as we compared what Sarah had to offer versus what we had to offer, we didn't feel we were close enough. So we had to do a little bit of work, and going back to the church council and discussing with them why we felt this was a good hire. Sarah was able to have a post-interview baptism by fire into the youth program by coming along to South Dakota. She got to accompany us on our youth trip this year. And that first Sunday back, I'll never forget it. There we are. We got done with our presentation. We give the sharing of the peace. She hugs 4, 5 girls during sharing of the peace after knowing them for 1 week. That's pretty impressive.
Early in this century, the organ was needing renovation, as all missions do from time to time. And we were able to accomplish that and to build it out to a much more complete instrument.
Yeah.
I think it was completed in 2010. And then with Brock joining the staff this year, we have an organist who can really make use of the full functionality of it. And I think you see the people staying after church to listen to the postlude and applauding. It's really been a joy to hear that. I think we have a good foundation, and I think it's just going to keep getting better. I think, as the choirs get used to working with Brock, they're going to get better. It's kind of hard to imagine that he'll get better on the organ, but as he gets more used to the instrument, I expect that he will. That we'll hear things that we haven't heard yet.
Well, over the last number of years, we're trying to look at ways to conserve energy. One of the things we did a number of years ago was we insulated the sanctuary and re-roofed that. And that has been quite an improvement from an energy-saving perspective. We're also looking at some of the other ways to conserve any energy in electricity. We have been able to install some LED lighting on the outside fixtures, and we've been methodically changing them. We didn't completely change them all at one time. It's been more of a transition. When the fixture fails, or the ballast goes out, or the bulb fails, we go ahead and replace the fixture. The new unit we installed on the roof of the structure, brought a big crane in, set that in place. Later on in July, I believe, is the time frame when we installed it. And it's been very successful. Energy savings, we had a great year from the temperature, so it's been helpful in that regard, as well as the HVAC unit is probably 75 to 80% more efficient than the previous one. And the fellowship hall has sound system added to that, which you probably have had an opportunity to experience with some Bible studies recently.
Yeah.
So that's kind of exciting. No longer having the corded mics. The portable units are very, very exciting to have as anybody that's in that space can appreciate.
Right now we have zinnias as a star of the show. They're about the only thing that's in full bloom right now, and we have lots of perennials that are kind of going to sleep for the rest of the season. We had such a horrible storm in May, and I was worried we were going to have nothing for a garden, and yet the bulbs bloomed, the perennials still came up, and nature is amazing.
Well, I think that we are lucky, Mount Olive is, we have changes, and we have things that are freshening up, but there are things that we've always done, long-standing traditions here at Mount Olive, and we're continuing those, but with a new focus and some new energy and some new excitement, and you can feel it in the kids, you can feel it in the worship, you can feel it, it's there. And I'm just really excited for what's going to come. This time of year it's almost like springtime in a way, with new beginnings. I think it's exciting that at the end of worship, nobody leaves the church. Nobody leaves anymore. A few people leave just, but nobody leaves the church anymore after worship, because everybody's wondering what kind of workout Brock's gonna do with that organ. What's gonna happen next? And the kids are standing there and they're listening and they're watching everything, and that's exciting. And I feel that I feel more connected with the church this year. It's great. We love being part of Mount Olive and part of the family that comes along.